All right, so you got an electronics store that's selling an average of 60 entertainment systems per month at an average of 800 more than the cost price. So they're saying they make $800 profit. So they're selling them for $800 each. Electronics store sells an average of 60 entertainment systems per month at an average of $800 more than the cost price. For every $20 increase in the selling price, the store sells one fewer system. What amount over the cost price? What amount over the cost price will maximize revenue? Got it. So we want to write equations for how much money they're bringing in. So we want to think about, So I would start off thinking that X is like the number of things we're selling. So let's actually use N. So N is the number of systems that we're selling. And we want to write an equation for price. So we want to think that we know when they sell 60 systems, they're selling them at $800. But then they tell us that for every $20 increase in the selling price, so that if they're selling them for $820, they're going to sell one fewer system. They're going to sell 59. And so we want to write an equation. Yeah, we basically want to write an equation where we can plug in how many systems we sell and get the price that we're selling them at. Or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. So I would say, what's the slope here? Well, the slope is negative 20. So we'll go negative 20x. And then like plus b equals y. Just because like slope-intercept form. So we have a slope of negative 20. We don't know the y-intercept yet. But then we can do the thing where we plug in one of the points. So we go negative 20 times 60 plus b needs to equal 800. And then what's 20 times 60 is 1200, negative 1200. So then we add that to both sides. So we go 1200 plus 800 is 2000. So b is 2000. So what does that even say? That says that if we give them out for free, we'll give away 2,000 of them. Or no, if we charge $2,000, because 2,000 is the price, or the Y is the price. So if we charge $2,000, we won't sell any of them. That's what we're saying. Because the whole reason we're doing that is to say this expression right here is the price that we're selling them for. Because that's what the Y was. That's why we wrote that equation. So now we can write another equation to calculate how much money we're going to bring in. Because how do you calculate how much money you're going to bring in? You do how many you sell, which was X, times the price you sell them at, which was Y. But now we have this expression for Y. So now we can have this equation. Where that represents our profit. So this is an equation where we plug in, see how X is the number we sell, times the price that we sell them at. That's why we wrote that whole equation. That gets us the profit. So now we want to find, now we can find the maximum profit by finding the maximum of this equation. And so we could do calculus, but you probably don't know calculus yet, which is fine. So we can just try to picture the graph. So how I would try to picture this graph, because what is it? It's a quadratic, right? And if you distribute, you see you have a negative x squared. So you know that it's an upside down parabola. And so what we're looking for with our maximum profit is we're looking for that point right there. So how are you going to find that? Well, I would think about how we should find the x-intercepts. So what are the x-intercepts? We do that by setting the profit equal to 0. And you see, when does that happen? Two things multiplied together to be 0. So either x equals 0 or negative 20x plus 2,000 equals 0, which is what? X equals 100. So this point right here is 100. Because the idea is the vertex then is the middle of that, which means the way to maximize their profits is to sell 50 units. We don't care about what the profit is, but the way to maximize their profit is to sell 50 units because that's where the vertex of this parabola will be. So now to answer the question, they wanted to know what should they charge as a price. So let's go back to our equation for price. Let's plug in the fact that we want to sell 50 units and we can calculate the price. So what's a negative 2,000 times 50? That's 1,000, right? So we got negative 1,000 plus 200. So y equals 1,000. We want to charge $1,000 for it. So if we charge $1,000, we're going to sell fewer systems, but the price that we're going to sell them for is going to make up for it. Yeah, that's that problem. So that's number 5. Let's look at your number 6. We got 3 problems here, right? Oh, wow. And they're like all different too. But this next one should be easier now that we know that idea. So last year, a banquet hall served $30 per person, and 60 people attended the hockey event banquet dinner. This year, the hall's manager said that for every 10 extra people that attend the banquet, they will decrease the price by $1.50 per person. What size group will maximize the profit for the hall this year? Okay. So we want to do the same type of thing. Let's keep with the same pattern of X being people and Y being money. So we'll do the points again. We'll say that when there were 60 people, it was $30. And also, I'm coming at this from like a math person point of view. There's probably other like economic formulas that you can just bang these out in. But I'm just kind of doing it all from bare like math principles. So this year, the hall's manager said that for every 10 extra people that attend the banquet, so we can just go right for slope, right? So that's the run. So when X goes up by 10, they will decrease the price by 1.5. So that's what the slope is, just negative 0.15. And then we'll do that same thing we did last time, negative 0.15, X plus B equals Y. And then we can plug in this point to see what B has to be. So math's a little harder, 0.15 times 60. Well, that's 1.5 times 6, which is 9. So that's negative 9 plus B equals 30. So B equals 39. So then we have our equation, negative 0.15x plus 39 equals Y. So then that's the money that we're bringing in per person. So then to get the profit, we do the same thing we did before. We multiply that by X. So we have X times negative 0.15X plus 39 equals the profit. And so again, there's our parabola. We say, where are the x-intercepts? Here at 0. Here at negative 39 over 0.15, which is what? You can divide both of those by 3. So negative 13 over 0.05. Then you go boom, boom. You go boom, boom. So then it's 1,300 over 5. So what's 130 divided by 5? 26. So it's 260. Negative 260. Negative 260. No, positive 260. Because it's negative divided by negative. Positive 260. It couldn't be negative. If it's negative, that would be negative people. So those are our x-intercepts. We make 0 profit if we have 0 people. We make 0 profit if we bring 260 people. How do we make 0 profit if we bring 260 people? Because we're charging $0 to get 260 people there. That's how. Okay, yeah. So where's the maximum? In the middle, 130. So we want to bring 130 people. Oh, and that's what they asked for. What size group will maximize the profit? Yeah. Wait, what? So the answer is 1,000? Yeah, I said the answer is 1,000 up here. What are you saying? It's not 9, it's 0.9. 60 times 0.15 is not 0.9. 0.15 times 6 is 0.9. Nah, you're wrong about that. Yeah, 130. Final answer. We could check what this guy said. Well, they didn't ask for maximum profit. Whoa, what is this guy doing? Where is his answers? Wait, what? I was confused just because this guy didn't really answer the question. But I agree with what he said. I did calculate 50,000. It was just the question was the price. He didn't answer the price question. Anyway, here I pretty much solved it the same way. The hardest part was getting the original. Or why is total profit X is the amount of time an extra 10 people show up. Didn't even solve the problem. Wow, are we doing this in entirely different ways? Weird. I like my answer. I guess you can do it in either way. I don't understand what he's doing. I'm not really going to look at it. I'm just doing my own thing. Okay, number 7. A ball is kicked into the air and follows a path described by that, where t is the time in seconds to turn the maximum height to the nearest tenth. Yeah, this is definitely the idea. My idea is definitely what we're supposed to be doing here. You're not in calculus. You're in pre-calc. Or you're in 11th grade, which is like pre-calc. So we know you're not in calculus. Probably. So we're not taking derivatives. So this is our height, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We want to find the x-intercepts. And we want to find the vertex. So here's another way to actually find the vertex. The vertex is negative b over a. Is x equals negative b over a. Right? Or was it 2a? Right, because the sum is negative b over a. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is negative b over 2a. That's actually just a formula that you're probably supposed to know. Otherwise, you could do what we've been doing. Find the x-intercepts, add them together, divide by 2. But that's another trick, is that the sum of the x-intercepts is always this number divided by this number, or negative that number divided by that number. And so then if we want the average, we want the middle of the x-intercepts, you just take the sum and you divide it by 2. So that's why we just need to do negative b over a divided by 2. And so that gets us the x-coordinate of the vertex. So what's the x-coordinate of the vertex? Negative 6 over negative 4.9 times 2. And so then we just need to simplify that to get the x-coordinate. What do we actually want, though? We want the maximum height of the ball. So then we have to plug that back in. I feel like this is a calculator question, but I could just be crazy and not do that. So 3 over 4.9. So 30 over 49 is the time that it reaches its maximum height. So then to find the actual height, I mean, you've got to find h of 30 over 49, which maybe is not worth trying to do in the calculator. You got to do or trying to do without a calculator. I hate problems that force you to go to the calculator. It takes a lot of the magic out of it. So then negative 4.9 times 30 over 49 what? Squared. And then plus 6 times 30 over 49. And then plus 0.6. 2.44. Yeah. Did he put an answer here? No, he did not. All right, well, yeah, that's your answer. So the idea with all these problems is that when you're trying to find the maximum of a quadratic, you could take the derivative like this guy did, but you don't know that yet. So what you do is you find the x-intercepts, and you find the middle of them. Or we could have done similar things up here where we distributed and did like a negative b over 2a. That could have worked as well. So like here, if you want to see that, we would distribute. So we'd have negative 20x squared plus 2000x. So what's negative b over 2a? Well, it's negative 2000 over 2 times negative 20. So see how we go cancel, cancel. We go cancel, cancel. We have 100 divided by 2, which is 50. And that's exactly what we got here. So there you go. There's your problems. Hope that was helpful for you.